Hey guys, I was gonna put on some makeup for this video because, I'm looking kind of blotchy and I want to look cute for you guys. And then I thought, oh, or I could just like put on a filter and look like, 20 years younger and look really good. Or I could just replace myself with an AI avatar and look absolutely perfect, clone myself, clone my voice. Or like, just why use an avatar of myself? Why not use an avatar of somebody who's like, you know, Scarlett Johansson, or, close enough to her not to be a copyright infringement. Or I could put out a million different versions of this video using AI to generate different combinations and then just see which one people like, right? Anyway, that's why I'm like, you know what? What would I rather see? Would I rather see somebody who's like speaking from their own experience, or somebody who's looking perfect and giving me exactly what I want to hear and what I want to see? And so, yeah, that's why I'm not wearing makeup. Um, and that brings me to today's topic because I just saw the best video ever. Highly recommend. It's titled AI Slop Will Save the Internet. Seriously, that's the title. AI slop will save the internet, dot, 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 seriously. And it's by Marcus Werner, Werner, first name Marcus with a C. I'll post a link to the video and to his channel in the description box below. Awesome, well worth watching, but I'm going to quickly summarize it in like two sentences. Sentence one: the big media platforms, social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and everybody else are going down the toilet because they're focusing on making as much money as they can out of the platform because they've kind of maxed out on their growth because everyone who wants to be on it is already on it. And now they're just like trying to squeeze all the juice out of it that they can. This is something Cory Doctorow called the enshittification of the internet. Happens to pretty much every large company. And the other thing that he's saying is that AI slop will accelerate this. And that this is a good thing because it will force us to find something new. Just like the internet in the first place was a reaction to um, the limited options that we had in the pre-internet world. And so we're going to get a reaction to something else, hopefully a little bit faster than it took the internet to be invented. So it's an optimistic video in that sense. And it made me think, what is that new thing that's going to be invented? And and I definitely see where he's coming from. And if you're a marketer using AI for your business, to generate the content for your business, this is where like the rubber kind of is hitting the road. Because with AI, you can make a perfect ad, you can make a million perfect ads, you can make a billion perfect ads, you can micro target them, and all different kinds of combinations of this ad. And do people really want to go on social media to just see ads? And even if you're a real person posting on Facebook and you're like, oh, here's an AI suggestion of something I could post, or an AI suggestion of how I can improve my post, or an AI recommendation for what video clip or image I could comment on. And all I have to do is click on it and it will generate this post for me and give me more engagement, right? That's tempting. YouTube already has this, little suggestions for YouTube topics and stuff like that, right? More and more platforms are going to offer this. YouTube's already offering like the ability to quickly create shorts and other content to repurpose your content. And it's already giving you the option of trying different thumbnails and trying different titles and all this other stuff, right? So it's a short hop from that to even humans generating authentic content, to try different versions of that content, to tweak things, to optimize it, to get the engagement and the likes, and maybe, some advertising revenues that they might want to see from their channel or from their social media feed, because everybody wants to be an influencer. Even a small influencer, it's still nice to be famous. And so instead of posting one post, you're going to post 100 variants on that post or 1,000 variants on that post. And if the platform caps you at a certain number of posts, you create a new account, or you go to a platform that lets you create an unlimited number of accounts. And this is how these platforms get they like just totally swamped by inauthentic content that we will get bored of very quickly, because it will become very apparent to everybody soon, and it's already apparent to a lot of people, that this is fake. Like, say you see a picture of some bunnies jumping on a trampoline, and you go, "Oh my God, that's the cutest thing ever!" Like, heart, heart, heart. And then the algorithm will serve you up a whole bunch more bunnies jumping on trampolines, photos and videos. And at some point, you're going to say, that's an awful lot of identical looking bunnies jumping on trampolines, right? And even the dumbest person at some point is going to say, this is just spam. This is not actual bunnies jumping on trampolines. And the point at which we get overwhelmed is going to be different from everybody. But at some point, we do get overwhelmed with slop. And we start tuning it out and stopping using the platforms. It's a death spiral for the platforms once they start allowing AI to generate content. And they are allowing AI to generate content. They're going all in on it. They're offering AI tools to their advertisers to help them generate content better. They're offering AI tools to their users to help them generate content better. They see AI as the next big platform, which it kind of is. I mean, I'm a technology journalist. I agree AI is the next big platform. And so the existing players are scrambling to figure out how they fit in with it. And so they're throwing out every possible AI tool they can. And it's that, and they're shooting themselves in the foot by doing this, because it makes their platforms worse, not better. And yes, we will have probably new AI created platforms coming along. Somebody might use AI to build the next Facebook or whatever. Um, but just like people use the internet to build Facebook in the first place, right? And it originally connected humans. So you can use technology to connect humans to humans, which is what we want because we care about other people. We're kind of biologically evolved to care about other people. So you can use technology to support that, or you can use technology to break that. And if you use technology to break that, people don't want that technology anymore. So that's why people would rather have a multiplayer game than a single player game. But if all the other players in the multiplayer game turn out to be, Russian bots, then people aren't going to want to play that game, right? So there's an opportunity to invent something new and maybe use AI or whatever technology we have to help you invent it. But at the end of it, it's going to have to connect people to other people, because people are a finite, limited resource. And we're going to continue being a finite limiting resource because our birth rates are falling. Whereas AI is an unlimited resource. You can have an infinite number of AI generated pieces of content. And when you have an infinite number of AI generated pieces of content, the value of any individual one of those pieces of content will fall to zero because they're indistinguishable and there's no barriers to entry. If someone creates a perfect influencer who is great for doing advertising and advertisers hire her to show their products, somebody's going to clone her and somebody else is going to clone her and somebody else is going to clone her, and the price of that influencer and her clones are going to drop to zero because there's no barriers to entry, there's no barriers to content creation. And when there's no barriers to something, when it becomes super easy to produce, its value drops. So the value of the first rabbit jumping on a trampoline was, okay, that's interesting. That's the first rabbit jumping on a trampoline that I saw. That's so cute. That's adorable. The value of a millionth rabbit jumping on the trampoline is going to be zero. Unless you have actual rabbits, in which case you have a limited supply of rabbit videos if you're filming actual rabbits. So this is why I watch channels that verify that their videos are real, channels that have been around for like millions of years, and like the dodo. I love the dodo. And they've lately been really leaning in to showing that the content is authentic. They have interviews with the pet owner. They have voice overs from the editors who edited the content. They have much more like context around the clip to show that this is something real and something worth watching. And so I continue to watch their channel, and when something else gets recommended to me that's not from their channel, from a new channel, from a channel that has a million identical videos that were released in the last week, I will downvote it and I will block it. And when I go to YouTube, I look at my subscriptions feed first instead of looking at the general homepage. And I'm betting that a lot of people are going to move in that direction because there's only so many clones of the same video that you want to see. No matter how cute that original video was, there's no barrier to cloning it. But there is a barrier to having an authentic human experience because humans are limited. So I think what this means is that the new platform that is going to come out of this is not going to be based on purely AI generated content because that's unlimited and we humans only have 2 eyeballs. We can't watch all this stuff. And the proportion that we're going to watch of all that stuff is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, meaning that at some point it becomes more expensive to host it and save it and produce it than to watch it. YouTube cannot physically save an infinite number of videos. They will run out of storage at some point. They will have to restrict in some fashion or another how many of these videos are going to be uploaded to their platform. But yeah, still they have a lot of storage, and it's highly likely that those like AI images and AI videos are going to fight it out amongst themselves because there's no obstacle to cloning them. The the faceless voiceover channels. Those are probably going to go really, really quickly because you know right away if it's a faceless channel, odds are that it's AI generated and that you can't trust anything on this channel because it's optimized for viewer engagement, which means that the video will tell you whatever it thinks you want to hear. And there might be like 50 different versions of this video out there, each one saying something different, right? Like if I had 50 versions of this video, each one saying something that was aligned with a different set of political beliefs, one of them is going to grab your attention, right? And so it would be very tempting for me if I just wanted to, increase my impact to create 50 different versions of this video so that something would click with you and you'd subscribe and you'd see more of those videos, right? Yeah, yeah. I don't think I can't see an obvious way for our existing social media platforms to figure out a way out of this. Because even if you block bots, you can't block humans for making, versions of their video, right? You can block them from posting videos that are too similar, but then they might post one, take it down, post another, take it down until they see which one clicks. Or they might post it to different platforms that do allow this kind of posting, and see which one resonates best with people and then upload it to YouTube. So there's going to be like ways to game the system no matter what blocks that they put in, because AI is very quickly getting indistinguishable from human content. And I don't know what's going to come next because it hasn't been invented yet. And I think this is something we should all be thinking about. So content creators obviously should be leading into being authentic and human because there's no barriers to competition if you're AI. If this video was created by a robot and it does well, 50 different robots can duplicate this video. The reason that this video can't be duplicated as easily is because this took me time to do in my real office with my real face. And for now, at least, you can kind of tell that I'm human and not AI. That these are like real books here on the shelf behind me. That when a cat jumps behind me, it's an actual cat, not an AI cat. 6 months from now, that's not going to be the case. 6 months from now, you are not going to be able to tell by my hair or my books or whatever that this isn't that this is or isn't a real office. So even with YouTube, I think that the window of authenticity is shrinking really, really quickly. And so some of it has to do with trust. So I started this channel just before the YouTube videos got good enough, right? Um, and like I had a video from like a year ago or something. And back then it was still Will Smith eating spaghetti kind of videos, right? So you can go back and see me. Also, I'm on social media going back for ages. And I've got news articles going back decades, right? So I have a presence, I have a history that this is me, but it's still not a guarantee that the next video I put out isn't going to be something AI generated because I'm just too tired to film. And the AI suggests a perfect video for me that I can do, that I can agree with. I just hit publish on. It will put that video up pretending it's me. You can post a video a day or 2 videos a day or 3 videos a day, right? and they'd be perfect and they'd look just like me and they might even be in line with my opinions and I might even review them and say, yeah, I agree with this one. No, not this one. Yes to this one. No, tweak this one a little bit. Yeah, I can give that kind of feedback, right? And I can produce an, unlimited number of videos and I can have this channel. And is that going to be worth watching, right? Because it's not actually me. It's kind of like a faint echo of me. Like Socrates said, I think I just posted that maybe yesterday, tomorrow. I don't know. Anyway, Socrates had some things to say about writing that was very negative. Um, Socrates was upset about the fact that people were reading written speeches instead of engaging in debate. And so he was upset about this, that you can write a speech and then you can read that speech and then you can distribute that speech afterwards, like everybody else could read the speech. And instead of like debating and giving like honest, in-depth conversations about the topic, right? And the writing evolved into a totally different medium from just writing down people's political speeches, right? So it's writing started out as a commercial thing to count how many things you were buying and selling, um, as a thing to write down political speeches so people could like read them later and write down conversations, um, write down songs and odes that were previously spoken, and you would write them down as an aid to memory or so that people can read them for themselves for the first time. And then writing evolved into its whole different medium. We had novels that were not just the written version of something previously spoken or just like a bookkeeping thing. And so AI might evolve in that direction where right now it's used as for business, right? Business operations. It's kind of like the way writing was used for business. And it's being used kind of as a clone of what we currently have. So it's cloning images, audio, videos, right? It's duplicating the mediums that we have in place, video games. Um, and it will evolve at some point into its own medium, into its like own thing entirely, and that could be very interesting. Um, and I don't know what it's going to be. Um, just like, novels evolved into something, right, that was very interesting. And I think people who were previously writing down poetry and political speeches might not have considered how the novel is going to evolve. So we might have something new coming out of AI, some kind of a new immersive world creation thing. Who knows? I mean, literally, nobody knows. People are going to experiment with a million different things and see what comes out of it. But I think also we need to find, separate from AI, separate from social media, somebody's going to need to find a way to help people connect with each other because we desperately want to do this. And I don't know how that will look, but I definitely want to be a part of it. And that could be in the form of like trusted channels. Like, somebody's been around for a while, that don't use AI. Maybe they film in front of live studio audience, or they film in a cafe around people. So there's a discussion going on. And if you wanted to, you can drop in and see it live, right? So maybe those things will become more prevalent. Maybe we'll get more um, music videos that are actually concert videos, videos of live performances. I really don't know. But I think that's very interesting. I definitely want to restart an in-person writing group. And this might actually spur people to move closer together, move into the cities or or at least large towns so they can be around other groups of people. Um, I think that when we moved to the suburbs, we had television and radio kind of helping us feel connected to people, even though we lived like separately from them and we had cars so we could like drive places. Um, but if your online media is a bit lacking in that personal connection, maybe we'll do more stuff face to face. I can hope. That's one possibility. Um, I don't know what else. Yeah. Anyway, if you have thoughts, leave it in the comments below. I'm not anti-AI. I just don't see a clear business model going forward for the existing social media platforms because AI content is so easy to generate and so hard to distinguish from human content. And yeah, I mean, maybe they'll come up with something, but I can't see it from where I'm sitting. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that the social media platforms have devolved quite a bit and have been responsible for, lately been responsible for more and more of the negative stuff. Uh, so maybe we won't be too sad to see them go and something else come up. Anyway, let me know what you think. Bye.